This is the second in a series of special podcasts brought to you by Our Different Take. We will be talking about Matt's remote viewing experiment on the envelopes that I have in my house. So wait for the fun. Hello there and welcome to Our Different Take. My name is Brian, proud father of two awesome boys, Star Wars collector, Jedi podcaster. This is the way. And to my left is Matt. Oh, welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Brian. That's awesome. I love that you're always a Jedi. Very cool.
Always.
I'm excited for tonight. I can't wait to talk about what I saw through my third eye. It was very interesting. And I don't know if it's accurate or not, so we'll find out. But to my left, Scott. Welcome, Scott.
Hello, and I am not the drone you were looking for. This is Scott. I'm the lone Texas member out here on the podcast, and happy to be here tonight. I am not the one that has to guess anything tonight, so I'm thrilled to death to be able to see if Matt comes anywhere close to if he comes anywhere close to what was actually in those envelopes. I'm excited for tonight's episode.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. So I'm the one this time. I had 5 envelopes, and on each envelope I labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what I did is I got a newspaper and I clipped out pictures and put the pictures in here, so you guys can't make fun of my drawings.
Oh, brilliant.
Although that was the best part of the last podcast, is making fun of Matt's drawings.
It really
Make
was.
fun of me all the time, dude.
That was the best.
I can take it. Whatever.
Okay. We still love you, though.
No arts, dude.
We still love you. All right. So I've got the 5 envelopes in front of me, and I'm going to turn the podcast over to you, Senior Matt, and let's see how this turned out.
Okay, so I have to say, and Scott, it was reminiscent of what you talked about, because initially, when I first started to try and concentrate on the envelopes and really get into a state of mind where I felt like I could really not so much be out of my body, but just make everything else go away. It was really difficult. And I ended up falling asleep twice.
Right?
When I did it. Yeah, I'd start to get a little something and I'd be out, like gone. So
you get a little something.
Yeah. So it's interesting that every time initially I would try and envision the envelopes, and I've been in your house before, Brian, mostly on the main level, because when you go into Brian's house, the recording studio is like right there.
Right.
So I've been there, and in my mind's eye, I would always go to that place. It was really weird, and very difficult to describe. But I can tell you that when I went there, everything was very dark. Even the lights that were on were really muted, and it was kind of hard to see through it all.
In your mind's eye.
In my mind's eye.
Okay.
And initially, I have to ask, Brian, the night that we all, you remember the night that I wrote you and I said, hey, I'm going to try and do some viewing tonight, call out the envelopes to the universe and see if you can. Was there anything special going on at your house? Like, between you and, your woman?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. She was probably working. So I'm pretty sure.
I'm
sure that's what was happening.
It was weird, because when I was trying to envision the envelopes, I just kept going to your living room, and it was very dark.
It's better than going to the bedroom. That's where I thought you were going.
Yep. I appreciate you.
I didn't go there. Had I started to go that way, I would have immediately stopped. I promise.
Super creepy.
Sure you would have.
Yeah, it was really weird. And so I jotted down some notes of a few of the things that I saw, but it's really, man, I can totally understand how hard it was for you, Scott, because it's really difficult sometimes some of the things I saw are really tough to describe. So I can tell you, and this is really weird. The first thing that came to my mind, and I don't. Well, we'll see what you think. Like a wheel from a ship, like a steering wheel from a ship. Does that anything at all?
Like a big like the ones like on a pirate ship. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
Let's see. Nope.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, I know this is weird. Something, and I couldn't quite tell what it was. Something maybe made out of porcelain or white. It had sort of rounded edges, and I couldn't quite tell what that was. Maybe like some kind of a vase or something that was very smooth for sure and white.
Okay, hold on a sec. Let me open these up here real quick because I don't remember the colors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So hold on one sec.
Okay.
And the winner is. Okay, so in one of these envelopes, there was something that was white. I mean, really white.
Right. And that's all I got was like really white and smooth.
Yes.
And
Well, no, there's two. Let me take that back. There was two envelopes where both things were predominantly white.
okay.
And you said it was more smooth. That's what you got?
Gosh,
Smooth?
I'm just it's very difficult to describe. Like it had a really smooth contours, but it was almost like something white that was almost folded over like a flower or something really hard to describe. White porcelain,
What about
cold,
the edges? Were the edges
rounded.
okay?
Everything
Okay.
everything
All right.
that I got was that, but I couldn't tell what it was. I could tell that it was very smooth, rounded edges, almost rolled over edges. But I don't know beyond that what it was. It's weird because describing it, it's hard to write everything down. But when I'm talking, I can describe the nuances of it. That's what I got for at least one of the things.
Well, I'll tell you what. So this picture that I've got is 90% of this item's white.
Hmm.
The edges are all round. Well, I don't want to say all round, but it's not like round like a ball.
No.
It is a picture of a milk jug.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
And
really
it's
interesting. Like a plastic
all
milk jug.
rounded. Plastic, exactly, like a plastic milk jug with a little teeny label on the front.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd say you almost nailed that one.
That's pretty cool. Okay. So at one point in time, I could see something that was like, I would almost call it like a parka or like a winter coat with like a hood on it that had, you know how they have like the fur around the edges, like around the hood. That was one thing.
Any particular color on that?
Interesting. You should say that. Let me think about that. Maybe an OD green or like a brown color.
Or was there anything else in conjunction with that parka?
No. And well, yeah, because at the same time, I got a really weird sort of a visual of, and this is going to sound really weird. If you took a piece of like very thin, like leather that has not been colored or changed at all and like stretched it, and then if you were to cut some holes in it, just poke holes in it and they elongate it out almost like Swiss cheese. That's what I saw. I know it sounds really weird, but
Does that even exist? What is
I
that?
don't even know what it is. It's just what I saw, man. And it was probably, I don't know, a rectangular or maybe square, a foot and a half, or I don't know what it was. It's just something I saw that was made out of leather. and was very thin material, very thin leather. So anyway, I know that sounds odd. I didn't even know how to describe it myself. It was very thin.
Well, hold on.
And
let's finish that other one first. Do you want me to disclose what I've got? That's
the other thing.
I do kind of. So you said it's like brown, dragonfly. It's like holes poked in it. It's long. Didn't you say it was like a foot long or something?
Yeah. Do you have anything even close?
Well, I've got a picture of a brown boot here that is made out of the same material you're talking about. There's holes in it for the laces to go through. It's about, well, it's a boot, so it's probably about a foot long, like a normal size boot. And it is brown, like leathery.
Yeah.
That had to be what you saw. That was envelope number 4.
Yeah.
Well, you're 2 for 2. So, well, no,
honestly,
you're pretty close though. You got 2 right so far.
How is that possible? That's so weird.
The ship's wheel, and then you wanted to.
Yeah, the first one wasn't right. It wasn't
right. No, it wasn't right. I don't think the ship's wheel.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw the ship's wheel, I was in your living room, so I don't know if there's anything in there like that.
Yeah, that's when you were like actually checking out his bedroom and stuff.
We were wearing tinfoil hats,
trying to peeping Tom and stuff through remote viewing.
You can't.
If I could do that, I 100% would. Absolutely. I would never be bored. I would.
Okay, next.
For the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I would not be bored. Anyway, so I think that's it, right? The wheel, the parka,
the milk jug, dragonfly,
rounded, smooth, the milk jug, a dragonfly. All I saw was something with 4 wings, or maybe 2 big wings. And it seemed
okay. I don't have anything like that.
Like an insect, maybe not a bird. I couldn't tell, but I picked a dragonfly because the shape of the wings was more.
Could you rounded. Get a feeling as to where I had the envelopes?
That's what I saw, and that's it. No, actually, and it's funny because. Well, I'll tell you what.
No,
what came to
I had
mind
them.
Was right next
I put
to
them upstairs,
but I don't know why.
We got that TV upstairs.
And see them
and there's
there.
that thing the TV sits on.
Was that closed?
I put them right there, right underneath the TV. I just laid them out right there, so I could, as I walked by, I could, shout them out to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got envelope number 1, which was the milk jug. And you also got envelope number 4, which was the boot.
Got it.
I did have a picture of an umbrella in one of them. It was a red umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a red umbrella. That was envelope number 3.
I was kind of thinking of that when you said
I have
parka.
a picture of a van, like a black van. Like a regular, like what you'd see a child molester drive around in. That type of van. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah. So it was black van.
Right.
And then also, now I thought you might be going towards this one when you were talking about the milk jug.
That's how everybody describes us.
But this one is a white Wrangler Jeep, 4-door Wrangler Jeep, which is white. It still has the curves, kind of like the other, but I think what you were saying fits the milk jug better than this Jeep for sure. Yeah, but it was white. This Jeep was white as well.
No, I think I was seeing the milk jug. Yep, definitely.
Like a cold.
It's interesting that I got the cold sensation. That's really weird.
You got the cold. You got a cold sensation when you saw the white.
Yeah, definitely, very cold.
Huh. So tell me what.
And I have no way to prove this, but I have a feeling that during one of these umbrellas came to mind, and I may have been falling asleep. But that's very familiar to me. So may or may not. But
What was your state of mind when you were doing this? How did you get to this? Tell me what it was like for you to get into this point where you were kind of like trying to do this remote viewing.
it's tough because, and Julia will tell you, a lot of the time when I get relaxed, I'm out. Like I fall right asleep. So on the first night, the night that I saw
It's not,
most
it's fun
things,
that you bought it off your neighbor or
I
something, I
actually
guess.
took a Xanax. Can I say that?
I mean, you just did.
No. But I took a Xanax and I just chilled out, and I got into a really relaxed state. Initially, I was gonna put on some music, and I decided to put on some binaural beats, which work on different frequencies. And actually, the YouTube video that I found said that it was binaural beats that were designed for remote viewing or out of body experience. And so I listened to that on my AirPods while I was trying to remote view. Now this is weird. When I did it, I literally, it's strange, but I closed my eyes, and I've not experienced this before either. But I can see sometimes when I go to sleep, and I close my eyes, I can almost focus on like a red dot in my mind's eye. But as I was getting to the point where I was really trying to view Brian's house, that became much more pronounced.
Hmm.
And I actually felt like I went into it. As strange as that may sound, and that I was actually at Brian's house.
Hmm. Yeah, I felt like when I did that to you, I felt like I was at your house too. I've legit felt like I was having a conversation with you and your wife
Weird, huh?
in your house. Yeah, it was weird. And of course, I've never been to your house. I've been to the Springs many times, but I've never been to your house. And we've both been over to Brian's house before, so I know that maybe it's kind of a different feeling because you kind of know where stuff is there.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, but you said also when you came into the house, it seemed like darker or something unusual.
Very dark compared to what it's normally like. It was almost, man, it's really weird to say, but even the lights that were on were muted by the fact that, I guess, by the fact that I wasn't really there. It was a really strange feeling. Not bright at
Do you
all.
remember?
Very dark. And let me think. Yeah, just overall dark.
You remember in Lord of the Rings when he would put the ring on, when Frodo would put the ring on, and he would go into the shadow world or whatever? How things were dark. Was it leaning towards that way, looking like that? I mean, not as crazy as that.
It was much clearer though. It was dark, but it was much clearer than like that. But yeah, I would say that's an accurate idea. I think it's
wow.
It was really strange, man.
And
but again, proves my theory that Xanax is awesome for everything. I love it.
Yes, I guess so. That's our different takes choice of drug.
Just for the record, it's like a super low dose. I don't usually take Xanax, and when I do, I take like a quarter. So it's nothing crazy, and I very rarely do. But it's nice if you're super keyed up, and sometimes I have trouble when I'm like really keyed up trying to get to sleep, and that'll help. So,
did you try to do this multiple times, or did you bust this out in one shot?
3 times. No, 3 times.
3 times. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. I didn't move the envelopes. I left the envelopes there the entire time once I actually filled out the envelopes and put the pictures in them.
Well, it's funny because in my mind's eye, I was afraid to go upstairs because the first time I did it, I was like some freaky shit going on in this house, man. And I didn't want to, like, it was just awkward. And so there was no way I was going upstairs. I just wasn't going to go upstairs. I'm not doing it.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, it was a really weird feeling, man. It was uncomfortable a little bit.
Wow.
I don't know why. It was weird.
That is crazy. You guys are good at that.
I don't know if I'm really good at it, but I think the next one's yours.
It
man.
is.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No
All right,
pressure.
Who's doing the envelopes?
Have you ever been to Scott's house?
No.
Nope. You just moved, right?
Yeah.
I think Scott should do it then, because it'll be like a clean slate.
It's true.
I can do it.
Okay.
I'll put some envelopes together for you.
All right.
I think it'll be really cool to find out, because this is really interesting. Maybe we can come up with some other experiments too, because it's not fruitless at all. It seems to actually there's something to it.
I mean, this is the first time you've ever done this, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
not the first time. Now, I've tried to have out of body experiences before, and I just never could do it. So I don't feel like I have any great talent.
I think you got to practice at that. I feel like you have to really train your brain to do that, because our brains right now are, with work and everything going on, we are like hyped up all the time.
All the time, man. I'm actually lately, this month is probably the most stressed out I've been in probably 10 years.
And
Which
I
isn't
think
going to help.
all of that stuff affects, I think not having done it regularly affects your ability to be able to do it. And I think your ability to concentrate that's affected by your stress level, I think will change the effectiveness of this.
Agreed.
I know, I put it off for weeks, right? We were supposed to do this on podcast. I'm just like, I just can't. I can't think right now. I can't calm my mind because all the stuff that was going on. And when I finally was able to do that, it was a lot easier. It was kind of like, okay, now I can finally kind of relax. And
to be honest with you, me and Julie and I were just talking about it the other day, and how strange it is that you picked up, and what are the odds that you would come up with chocolate chip pancakes, which again, I just made for my daughters this morning. We make them all the time. And the St. Bernard, which our dogs play with, like, lives right behind our house, and we actually share a gate. We actually put a gate in the fence because our families are so close. We're always going back and forth, and the kids are playing together. That dog's always in my yard. So just a lot of, and a St. Bernard, how many are there really? Like,
right.
Like, what are the odds? I just feel like there's so much that was confirmed by that. There's definitely something to it.
I think so. And even if we want to get some of our fans involved too, we'd be happy to hold envelopes.
Oh
for them,
yeah,
or
that
vice
would
versa.
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
You know what we need to do
Definitely.
next is not do the envelopes, but have something somewhere that we have to try and find. Like an item that we put somewhere that we have to try and find.
I mean, we could totally do it.
Take it up a notch.
Huh.
Live on the edge.
No, I really like the idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to get a lot of people involved. It's just cool. I mean, there's so much we can do with this. And I think the more we do it, maybe the better we get.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. All
Be
right.
watching everybody have sex all the time. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, you're gonna be going to everyone's bedroom like right away.
Yeah. This is
No.
You'd be like,
Yeah, I would totally.
it's freaking Matt's ghost again in here. What's he doing?
What was that van that you had? The creeper van? I mean,
yeah.
I do not have a creeper.
I'm
think
surprised you didn't get that one
we're
first,
going
Matt.
As usual, you guys are assholes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
Label me on the internet as some sort of pedophile.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, this is our midweek podcast where we try to do small experiments and stuff like that, but we do some shorter podcasts. But if you guys have a topic or something you'd like us to cover, we'd like to continue doing these experiments and also getting you guys involved with it too. So if you have a suggestion, shoot us an email, shoot us a voicemail, whatever you want to do, just get a hold of us.
Absolutely.
The next podcast we're doing will be totally about conspiracies, right?
Yeah. I think everybody always asks how these things can happen, and we just kind of want to go over some of the stuff that might make a conspiracy doable. How do people pull these things off, or do they? Is the whole thing bullshit? I mean, does it actually never happen? Because as the news says, conspiracies are all made up. But if they're not,
Right.
how do they get
I think
pulled
that's a
off?
conspiracy.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts behind a conspiracy.
Right.
Cool.
Well, I think I'll take it out from here, Brian.
Take it out.
Thanks for listening this week. Welcome to our new listeners, and thanks so much for listening. Send us an email as to where you are listening from so we can give you a shout out. You can now hear us on Amazon Podcasts. Go to ourdifferenttake.com and our Facebook page called ODT Nation. Please send us your comments, suggestions, complaints, or questions to show@ourdifferenttake.com. You can also call our voicemail hotline to submit questions or comment, or really say anything that you want. Just call 970-343-4594. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and look for us wherever you get your podcasts from. We also have a YouTube channel called Our Different Take. Please subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be alerted when new podcast is released. We're now featured on a new podcast app called Good Pods. Take a sec to check us out on there. If there's a certain subject you'd like us to talk about, let us know. And thanks again for listening.
Peace.
Take it easy.